Gentlemen over 60, let me ask you this. Have you always believed that eating lots of vegetables is the healthiest choice for your body? Well, you're not wrong, but only if you're choosing the right ones. Because some vegetables, though they may seem harmless, even praised as superfoods, could be silently lowering your testosterone without you realizing it. I'm Dr. Marie, an endocrinologist and specialist in men's health for older adults. Over the past 20 years in my clinic, I've worked with countless men who came in feeling drained, lacking vitality and confidence, even though they were eating clean and staying active. And here's the surprising part. Some of the most common vegetables in their daily meals turned out to be the hidden culprits. In today's video, I'm going to help you identify 3 vegetables that could negatively affect your testosterone when consumed regularly. And more importantly, offer you healthier alternatives that support hormonal balance and male vitality in your 60s and beyond. And don't skip the beginning of this video, because I'll be revealing something most people never expect. Certain vegetables, the very ones often promoted as healthy and wholesome, are quietly disrupting hormone balance in men over 60, especially testosterone, the very foundation of masculine strength and vitality in old age. But before we dive into the main content, let me ask you something simple. Where in the world are you watching this video from? I'd be absolutely thrilled to know who I'm sharing this health journey with today. Please leave a comment below so we can connect. And if you find this knowledge helpful, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell so you won't miss any future videos on men's health after 60. Now let's begin by exploring the biological reasons why men over 60 become more sensitive to certain compounds found in vegetables. Part 1. Why certain common vegetables harm testosterone after age 60. Dear friend, for many years, you've probably believed that eating plenty of leafy greens is the right way to stay healthy. And for the most part, that's true. But there's one little-known reality, especially relevant to men over 60. Some vegetables we consider superfoods can actually disrupt your hormonal balance, lower testosterone, and bring about a host of unwanted effects on your health and vitality. Throughout my clinical practice, I've observed something crucial. The foods you eat every day have a far greater impact on your testosterone than any supplement or so-called magic pill. Now, this doesn't mean you should avoid vegetables altogether. Absolutely not. Vegetables are essential sources of fiber, antioxidants, and key vitamins. But not all vegetables are safe for the aging male endocrine system. Some contain plant compounds such as indole, phytoestrogens, or oxalates. These can interfere with testosterone production enzymes, mimic estrogen, and create hormonal imbalance, or block the absorption of essential minerals like zinc and magnesium. The real problem? These vegetables are often heavily promoted in clean eating diets, so many men unknowingly consume them daily, thinking they're doing the right thing, while in reality, they're quietly switching off their natural source of masculine vitality. And as testosterone gradually drops, you may start to notice the signs: constant fatigue, muscle loss, lowered libido, and even poor concentration. Many assume it's just part of aging, but in truth, your diet could be the silent factor worth examining first. In the next section, I'll share the story of David, a 65-year-old man who followed a strict green and clean diet, only to discover that his favorite vegetable was silently draining his energy and hormone levels without warning. Dear friend, if you're still watching at this point, I'm truly glad to have you with me. It shows you care about your health. Leave a number 1 in the comment section below to let me know you're still here walking this journey with me. Part 2. David and the surprising truth about a healthy vegetable that lowers testosterone. I want to tell you about a real case I once worked with. David was a 65-year-old man, a former engineer who had recently retired. He was the kind of person who took his health very seriously. From his diet to his daily exercise routine, nothing was ever overlooked. In particular, he strongly believed in the nutritional value of green vegetables and always made sure to load up on them in every meal. One of David's absolute favorite vegetables was kale. He ate kale nearly every day, believing it was a golden vegetable that could detox the body, boost immunity, and fight aging. But just a few months into this routine, David began noticing some troubling changes. His muscle mass was decreasing, he constantly felt tired, and his mental clarity just wasn't what it used to be. When he came to see me, David was genuinely confused. He said, "I'm doing everything right, eating clean, exercising regularly, so why do I feel weaker every day?" After conducting a full examination and hormone test, we discovered that his testosterone had dropped to an alarmingly low level. And surprisingly, the culprit turned out to be the very vegetable he had been proudly eating every day. The truth is, kale contains a plant compound called indole-3-carbinol. In younger people, this compound may help support liver detox, but in men over 60, when testosterone levels are already naturally declining with age, this compound can disrupt the hormonal balance in an unfavorable way. It interferes with the enzymes responsible for hormone production, gradually skewing the testosterone to estrogen ratio, where estrogen increases and testosterone gets suppressed. For younger men, this imbalance may not have an obvious impact, but for older men like David, even a small shift in hormone levels can severely affect vitality. David described it perfectly. "It's like my own body is betraying me." And the sad part is, he wasn't doing anything wrong. He simply didn't know that the praised vegetable he loved was no longer suitable for his body at this stage of life. David's story serves as an important reminder. Not every vegetable labeled as a superfood is actually beneficial for men over 60. Vegetables rich in indole, when eaten too frequently without understanding their biological effects, can negatively impact male hormones and vitality. And you'll be even more surprised to learn that it's not just kale. There's an entire group of foods often praised for being heart-healthy that could silently be disturbing your hormones as you age. In the next section, I'll tell you the story of Paul, a 70-year-old gentleman who had full faith in legumes until his hormonal health took a turn for the worse. Part 3. Paul and the consequences of trusting phytoestrogen-rich foods too much. Now let's move on to the case of Paul, a 70-year-old gentleman who took great pride in his healthy lifestyle. He had a habit of walking every morning, maintained a stable weight, ate moderately, and especially favored a semi-vegetarian diet rich in vegetables and plant-based protein. One of the food groups Paul trusted the most was sprouts and soy-based products. He chose them after reading that soy is good for heart health and an ideal substitute for animal protein. But after just a few months, Paul began noticing changes in his body that he couldn't explain. A bloated feeling in the lower abdomen, frequent nighttime urination, a clear drop in libido, and an overall sense of sluggishness. When he got tested for hormones, the results showed that his testosterone had dropped to abnormally low levels, along with signs of mild inflammation in his prostate. The root cause was ultimately identified as the high intake of phytoestrogens, a group of compounds found in soy, that he had been consuming daily. These compounds have a structure similar to natural estrogen in women and can bind to hormone receptors, directly interfering with male hormonal balance. In younger men, the body is still able to regulate these minor hormonal fluctuations. But at Paul's age, when testosterone is already declining due to natural aging, phytoestrogens can further destabilize the endocrine system. When Paul learned the truth, he was genuinely shocked. He shared, "I thought I was doing the right thing for my health. I had no idea that what I was eating was slowly weakening my body without me realizing it." His story is a clear reminder that not all plant-based foods are completely harmless, especially when the body becomes more sensitive to hormonal changes after 60. From Paul's case, we can draw an important lesson. Even the most ideal diet must be reevaluated through the lens of endocrinology. Because what's good for the heart isn't necessarily good for testosterone. And that's something worth seriously considering as we enter the slow metabolism phase of aging. And if you think only legumes pose this risk, just wait for the next part. Because the story of Frank, a man who loved raw leafy greens, especially spinach, will show you that even green vegetables can be a silent reason why testosterone levels drop in an alarming and unnoticed way. If you're still watching the video at this point, thank you for sticking with me all the way through. I truly appreciate it. Leave the number 3 in the comments below to let me know I'm not talking to myself. Part 4. Frank and the surprising truth about raw spinach. Frank, now 67 years old, is a man who embraces a minimalist lifestyle, especially when it comes to food. Every day he prepares his own salad loaded with raw greens. And the one ingredient he never leaves out is spinach. He was convinced that spinach was a health superstar. For Frank, the more greens he ate, the healthier he'd be, and the better he could fight off aging. However, after a while of sticking to this routine, he started to notice clear negative changes. His energy levels dropped, his mind felt sluggish, and his body no longer responded as quickly as before. A routine health checkup revealed the cause. Frank's testosterone levels were low, and his body was significantly lacking 2 key minerals, zinc and magnesium, both of which are essential for testosterone production. After a detailed conversation about his diet, the picture became clearer. Raw spinach, the vegetable Frank trusted most, contains a compound called oxalate. This substance binds to minerals in the digestive system, making it harder for the body to absorb zinc, magnesium, and other trace nutrients. In other words, even though Frank was consuming enough minerals through food, his body wasn't able to properly absorb them because oxalate was constantly present in his meals. For men going through natural hormonal decline with age, a deficiency in essential minerals is like fueling the fire of testosterone loss. And the sad part is, Frank had no idea. He once shared with me, "I thought I was doing the right thing, eating as many greens as possible. But the more I ate, the more exhausted I became." Frank's story is a gentle yet profound warning for those who follow a strict plant-based diet without understanding the biological reactions inside the body. Spinach isn't the enemy, but if eaten raw too often and in large amounts, it can unintentionally block the absorption of key nutrients, especially those critical for sustaining male hormones in older men. Now, up to this point, we've uncovered 3 vegetables that may seem harmless, but can negatively affect testosterone if used incorrectly. But the bigger question is, if we need to reduce or remove those vegetables, what should men eat instead to help restore testosterone, improve blood circulation, and maintain vitality as they age? Keep watching, because in the next section, I'll reveal 3 powerful vegetables considered the silent protectors of testosterone that every man over 60 should consider adding to his weekly diet. Part 5. 3 vegetables that support natural testosterone production after 60. After identifying the vegetables that should be limited, you're probably asking, so which vegetables are actually good for male hormones after 60? The answer isn't some rare exotic plant. In fact, some of the best vegetables are already familiar in your kitchen, and if you choose the right ones, they can help your body maintain healthy testosterone levels naturally. The first vegetable I want to introduce is asparagus. Often overlooked, this vegetable is actually a rich source of vitamin E, an essential nutrient for protecting the cells involved in hormone production. When these cells are shielded from oxidative damage, the process of synthesizing testosterone becomes more efficient. On top of that, asparagus contains folate and minerals that support nitric oxide production, a compound that helps widen blood vessels and improve circulation, especially to the reproductive organs and muscles. Next is red bell pepper. Not only does it stand out with its vibrant color and fresh flavor, but this vegetable is also loaded with vitamin C, a powerful anti-inflammatory nutrient. Chronic inflammation in the body, even when it's not visibly noticeable, is a silent factor that reduces testosterone in aging men. Additionally, vitamin C supports the adrenal glands, which produce precursor hormones that help the body maintain stable levels of male hormones. The third vegetable I recommend is shiitake mushrooms. These mushrooms contain bioactive compounds that naturally inhibit aromatase, an enzyme that converts testosterone into estrogen. By slowing down this enzyme's activity, the body retains more testosterone, which in turn supports muscle mass, energy, and vitality. Shiitake mushrooms are also high in antioxidants and beta-glucans, compounds that boost immune function and help reduce internal inflammation. When you include these three vegetables, asparagus, red bell pepper, and shiitake mushrooms in your weekly diet, they form a powerful protective triangle that helps stabilize hormone levels, enhance male vitality, and support overall health in a safe and natural way. However, the benefits of these vegetables become even more noticeable when you also add one critical factor: essential minerals for hormonal balance. And that's exactly what I'll be sharing in the next section. Part 6: 2 types of seeds rich in zinc and magnesium that help protect testosterone in old age. Once you've learned which vegetables to choose to support your hormones, it's time to add another vital piece to your diet: zinc and magnesium, 2 minerals that play a crucial role in testosterone production and the maintenance of muscular, nervous, and circulatory health in men over 60. Numerous studies have shown that older men are often deficient in these 2 minerals due to poor absorption, monotonous diets, or the natural aging process affecting metabolism. When the body lacks zinc and magnesium, the gonads and endocrine system are directly affected. Testosterone production drops, and this leads to a decline in sexual health, muscle weakness, and prolonged fatigue. To supplement these 2 minerals in a simple and effective way, you can start with 2 familiar types of seeds. Pumpkin seeds are an excellent source of bioavailable zinc. This mineral not only helps maintain stable testosterone levels, but also supports testicular function. Even a small daily amount of pumpkin seeds can make a noticeable difference when used consistently. In addition, almonds are rich in magnesium, along with plant-based protein and healthy fats. Magnesium helps regulate inflammation in the body, enhances neurotransmission, and improves hormone sensitivity in target tissues. Moreover, magnesium helps reduce levels of the stress hormone cortisol, which, when elevated over time, suppresses testosterone production. Adding pumpkin seeds and almonds to your diet is very simple. You can sprinkle them on salads, pair them with yogurt, or enjoy them as a light snack during the day. This is an easy, yet long-term sustainable way to support hormonal and sexual health in middle-aged and elderly men. However, even with the right food choices, if you cook them the wrong way, much of the nutritional value can be lost. In the next section, I'll share some simple yet essential cooking tips to help preserve the testosterone-supporting nutrients so you won't miss out on their full potential just because of common kitchen mistakes. Part 7: The right way to cook. The secret to preserving nutrients that help men recover testosterone. Choosing the right foods to support testosterone is an important first step, but it only becomes truly effective when you cook them correctly. Because no matter how healthy vegetables may be, if they're cooked the wrong way, their valuable nutrients may evaporate before your body even has a chance to absorb them. Imagine this: you carefully select asparagus to get more vitamin E, but then boil it too long, leaving almost none of the antioxidants behind. Instead, if you lightly steam or quickly stir-fry it with olive oil, the fat-soluble vitamins are better retained, helping keep the cells that produce sexual hormones strong and functional. Likewise, shiitake mushrooms are a hormonal savior because they contain compounds that inhibit aromatase, the enzyme responsible for converting testosterone into estrogen. If you stir-fry them lightly with a bit of oil, this bioactive effect is clearly activated. On the other hand, overcooking or reheating mushrooms multiple times can destroy much of their benefits. As for red bell peppers, they're rich in vitamin C, but this nutrient is extremely sensitive to high heat. So eating them raw, lightly steamed, or roasted until just tender will help preserve the maximum amount of natural vitamin C, an important factor in reducing inflammation and supporting the adrenal glands, where male hormone precursors are produced. Another important rule: avoid eating only one type of vegetable or preparing it the same way every time. Your body needs a variety of active compounds, from vitamins and minerals to fiber and anti-inflammatory agents. That's why diversity in your meals not only enriches the flavor, but also protects your hormones more comprehensively. When you learn how to process ingredients properly, not only does your testosterone get a natural lift, but your overall health will also transform day by day, and that's the long-term goal that truly matters. Dear viewer, if you've stayed with me until this moment, I believe you're not just interested, but genuinely ready to make a change. So I'd like to offer you a special invitation. Take part in a 7-day challenge to reboot your testosterone in a simple but powerful way. Over the next week, just follow a few easy steps. Replace overcooked vegetables with lightly steamed asparagus, quick-stirred mushrooms, and raw or lightly roasted red bell peppers. Swap your usual snacks for a handful of unsalted pumpkin seeds or a few almonds to boost zinc and magnesium daily. Avoid raw vegetables high in oxalates or those rich in phytoestrogens if you've been eating them too frequently. Combine these foods into your meals flexibly and simply. No need for anything fancy, just stay consistent for 7 days. And then you'll begin to notice waking up more refreshed, feeling lighter, thinking more clearly, and your inner masculine strength gradually returning. Let this be your first step in reclaiming health after 60, where age doesn't define your vitality, but you shape it yourself through knowledge and wise daily choices. If you found today's insights helpful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, so each week, I, Dr. Marie, can continue to support you on your journey to natural, science-backed men's health. Thank you for staying with me until the very end. I wish you strength, wellness, and boundless vitality on every step of your golden years. And always remember, age may change, but your vitality is yours to define.